Hi everyone, and welcome to a review for Into the Water by Paula Hawkins. Now this is the second book I've read by Paula Hawkins. I have read The Girl on the Train and I enjoyed that one. I ended up giving this one 4 stars. So I ended up giving this 4 stars. One thing I liked is that so this is what I really like about Paula Hawkins' writings. 1, the chapters are short. And 2, it's like each chapter has the name of one of the characters that takes place in this world. So you have chapters from Helen Townsend, you have chapters from Jules, chapters from Lena, Aaron, Patrick, I think Sean is another one. Jules comes up quite a bit. Lena, Luis. So you've got several different perspectives. So you do have multiple POVs. One thing with this is Into the Water in this place, and it kind of sounded like it was from Ireland, but at least somewhere in England. I can't remember where exactly, but it's a small town and there's this pool of water and a river runs to the water, and people will go and they'll swim and they'll have fun and stuff. But there's a story that back in the, I don't know, long time ago, that there was this girl that was accused of being a witch, and they used this pool of water to test a person to see if they're going to be a witch. If the person drowned, they were a witch. If they floated and survived, then they were a human being. So basically it's like the devil would claim them back to hell, and that's why they drowned, type of a thing. So that was the town's testament that that woman was a witch. So several women have drowned in this, and that only refers to that particular story like once or twice. Well, more than that, a couple of times. But other things have happened where other bodies have been found in this body of water, and that have been determined to be suicide. So it becomes known as the drowning pool, where people go to drown to end their life. So suicide is a big part of this book. So if that is triggering to you at all, do not read this book. I liked it. One thing I do like about Paula Hawkins' writings is I feel like it's to the point. You don't have a lot of embellishment. I think sometimes things can be over the top depending on how it's done, but I do think that Paula Hawkins is very much to the point. You don't have to wade through a bunch of embellishments to try and get to the point of things. Now there are a few like hints and red herrings to kind of try and turn you away from what might really be the end twist, I guess, or the end plot reveal. I kind of guess what was going on. I don't look to guess for those, but I had my suspicion because of how prominent a particular character was in this. So yeah. One thing to also keep in mind is that with this book, that is also very prevalent is rape. Is very much talked about. Another major warning for this for a lot of people is going to be abuse of power by a teacher with a minor. And when I say abuse of power by a teacher to a minor, I'm talking about sex. And it's the typical, they think they're in love and things happen, and I don't know. It's just, there's a bunch of stuff with that. Now, in this one, so Jules is a sister of Nell Abbott. And Nell, at the start of the story, you find out that Nell is now dead. It is determined that many people are determining that Nell committed suicide by jumping off the cliff into the drowning pool. Jules is not so sure. She doesn't know. Thinks it could be one way or the other. Jules and Nell had kind of like a falling out, and you do learn about a lot of miscommunication that has taken place, and about perspectives and how one person can view one event a certain way because they don't have the whole truth, while the other person doesn't know the person's missing out on truth, or thinks that they do know everything. As an individual, they think they know everything, and so they are in the right, when it turns out they actually don't know everything, so they're not fully in the right. So it was just interesting to see all that kind of unravel. Lena is the daughter of Nell. So Jules is Lena's aunt. And you can feel, you recognize the tension and the animosity and the hatred for the situation that they are in. That it's like, you know, Lena in this is like 15, I think. And she is doubly hit because in this book, very early on, you also find out that Lena's best friend named Katie also committed suicide in the drowning pool. And so there's a lot of speculation as to why these two, where Lena is the tie between them. It's Lena's mother and Lena's friend that are both dead. What is the connection between the two dead women? Katie is 15, and of course Lena is the adult. I don't know if she's in her 30s now or something, but anyway, so they're trying to figure out, and there's a lot of speculation. It's a small town. There's a lot of talk. I will say my favorite character in this, I can't remember her name. I don't think, she does have a name and she was referred to, but she only pops up kind of like when you're reading the perspective of like Jules or the perspective of Lena or someone else. Is her name Erin, I think? I don't know. Anyway, she's kind of considered the witch and the crazy old biddy, the crazy old lady in this story. And I liked her. I thought she was very endearing. Things were a bit out there with her, but for things that she believes with being able to commune with the dead in certain ways, and sometimes more so than others, it was very interesting. And I thought, and she does play a vital role in this book. So I liked that. She was my favorite character out of all of them. Another thing to be aware of going into this, okay, I lost my train of thought there for a second. So another thing to be aware of going into this particular book is there is a lot of fat shaming and calling people slut and things like that. But there's a lot of calling someone like a fat cow. I think it's hinted at like an eating disorder. Like, I don't know if it's anorexia or bulimia. I think it's bulimia. Yeah, no, it's bulimia is hinted at in this as well. But there's a lot of fat shaming in this book. So I know that's a very touchy subject for some people. But you also have to remember that when most of the fat shaming was taking place, this is dual timeline, takes place in the mid 90s, I think is when some of it takes place, because it's present day, and then like 2015, what's the other, 1993, so it's the early to mid 1900s, and so there was a lot of fat shaming during that time frame, especially towards younger girls, but fat shaming in general, and how hard that can be, and a huge impact. So I do like this. If you're looking for a quick thriller, this is definitely quick, but again, please be aware of the trigger warnings that I have mentioned. So the suicide, the rape, sexual assault, eating disorder, fat shaming. So it is chock full of them, but it is a thriller, so it is going to have more things like that. But I enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. And I know she has another book out, and I can't remember the name of the title of it right now, but I think it has something to do with fire. But I look forward to getting hold of that book at some point in the future and reading that one. So, I don't know. I enjoyed it. I do recommend it, but only if you can handle those triggers. So, that'll be it for this video. Let me know if you've read this, or if you've read anything else by Paula Hawkins, like The Girl on the Train. I did like that as well. But yeah, just let me know. So, talk to me in the comments, and until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book, and I'll talk to you later.